Let's go deeper, darker, and more suspenseful. Because this isn't just a feel-good story about a rookie running back joining the Dallas Cowboys. This is about a gamble. A high-stakes, razor-edge bet that could either elevate this offense into something electric or come back to haunt them in the worst possible way. We're talking about Jaden Blue, a name you might have heard whispered in draft circles or thrown around on highlight reels, but until now, not fully understood. And that's where we begin, because beneath the surface-level excitement surrounding his arrival in Dallas, there's a more complex narrative playing out. A narrative filled with red flags, misunderstood context, raw potential, and a coaching staff trying to mold a high-risk, high-reward weapon into something dependable. And the scariest part? No one, not even the Cowboys, knows which direction this story will go. So let's pull the curtain back. Let's start with what we think we know. Jaden Blue, 5th-round pick, blazing speed, explosive change of direction, and a highlight reel that looks like it was created in a lab. But there's a reason he fell to the 5th round. A reason that's been whispered in war rooms, debated in coaching meetings, and echoed through every scouting department that passed on him. Ball security. The kind of issue that sends shivers down the spines of NFL coaches. And the question now isn't just can he fix it, it's how much damage could it do before he does. And here's where the plot thickens. You see, Blue's fumbling problem didn't just pop up randomly. It was clustered, concentrated in a window of time early in the 2024 college season when everything started unraveling. 3 fumbles in a single game. Headlines exploded. Stock plummeted. And just like that, a running back with day 2 talent started free-falling into the late rounds. But why? What happened? Was it nerves? Was it carelessness? Was it a fluke? Or was it something deeper? Something that might follow him into the NFL like a ghost he can't shake? Cowboys running back coach Anthony Lynn has a take. He liked Blue. A lot. Enough to publicly praise his ability, his upside, his raw tools. But even he couldn't ignore the elephant in the room. He had a fumbling problem, Lynn said. Flat, honest, no sugar. But then he paused. Earlier in the year. That small detail right there? It's the fork in the road, because what happens next determines everything. According to Lynn, after those early fumbles, Blue never coughed it up again. Not once. And that single fact could change everything we think we know about this kid. Because if the issue was isolated, if it was fixable, then the Cowboys might have just stolen a weapon that the rest of the league was too scared to touch. But we can't just take a coach's word for it, right? We've got to dig deeper. So I did. I dug into game logs, press clippings, Longhorns film breakdowns, and what I found only added more intrigue to the mystery. Jaden Blue wasn't the only player fumbling at Texas. In that now infamous Kentucky game where Blue dropped the ball multiple times, the entire Texas offense fumbled 6 times. That's not a Blue problem. That's a systemic problem. That's coaching. That's preparation. That's an entire offense with poor ball security protocols. It's chaos, not carelessness. And if the whole team was leaking oil, how much blame can we really put on one back? But we're not done yet. Because here's the analytical twist. Despite the 5 fumbles in 2024, Blue still averaged over 5.4 yards per carry. He still scored 14 touchdowns. He was still the most dangerous weapon on the field every time he touched the ball. So here's the real question. What's the cost of brilliance when it comes with baggage? Are you willing to put that kind of explosiveness on the field, knowing there's a chance, even a small one, that he could put the ball on the ground at the worst possible time? Think about that. Think about the Cowboys in a 1-score game late in the 4th quarter. Ball in Blue's hands. 1 cut, 1 burst, 1 fumble. Game over. Season over. Trust shattered. That's the knife edge we're talking about. And it's what makes this so fascinating. Because on the flip side, imagine this. Blue tightens his fundamentals. He locks in on ball security. He listens to Anthony Lynn. He buys into the process. And he becomes that guy, the one that keeps defenses guessing, the one that injects pure adrenaline into this offense. The one that makes us forget Tony Pollard ever left. That's the upside. And it's massive. But the Cowboys can't wait for that version of Blue to show up months down the line. They need him sharp now. The league doesn't wait. The NFC East doesn't wait. And every fumble, even in preseason, will be amplified under the brutal microscope of Dallas media and expectations. That's the pressure cooker Jaden Blue just walked into. And let's not forget, he knows it. He knows the narrative. That's why you see him doing agility drills like his life depends on it. Why he's practicing ball security with ping pong balls and low-tech tricks to rewire muscle memory. He's not coasting. He's grinding. And that grind is going to decide his future. But it's not just about Blue. Let's zoom out. Because this pick reveals something deeper about the Cowboys themselves. It shows us what they're willing to risk. It shows us that this staff believes in redemption arcs, that they believe in development, not just polished products, that they'd rather bet on lightning in a bottle and coach out the flaws than settle for safe average backs with zero juice. That's not just smart, that's strategic. Because if Blue hits, if he becomes even half of what he's capable of, then the Cowboys just added an explosive weapon to an offense that's already overflowing with talent. But if he doesn't, if those fumbles return, if the bad habits creep back in, then the coaches are on the hook. The offense gets burned, and we're all left wondering what could have been. That's the suspense. That's the drama. This isn't just about one rookie trying to make a name for himself. This is about a franchise taking a calculated risk in the hopes of striking gold. And whether that risk pays off or detonates in their face, we're going to find out fast. Blue himself has said that most of his fumbles came when the ball was in his left hand. He says he naturally carries it low and has to be more intentional about tucking it high and tight. That's awareness, that's coachability. But awareness doesn't mean mastery. And the only way we'll know if he's mastered it is when pads are popping, defenses are flying, and instincts take over. Will the old habits return in those moments? Or has he rewired himself to be different? That's the million-dollar question. Texas coach Steve Sarkisian gave some insight too. He said the fumbles were about muscle memory, repetition, technical correction. He said it wasn't a physical issue. It was about confidence, about mindset. And you know what? That might be the most important piece of the puzzle. Because in the NFL, it's not just about ability. It's about resilience. It's about who you are after the mistake. It's about whether you crumble or come back sharper. And right now, Jaden Blue is standing at that crossroads. So where does that leave us? It leaves us staring at a player with rare potential, rare explosiveness,